Throughout the world today, safety is becoming more and more important. Important because technology is advancing and becoming more complicated, and because it makes sense to maintain a safe and healthful place to work. Whether you're new on the job or you're an experienced person, safety awareness is a vital concern, because the more you know and think about safety, the safer and healthier you'll perform your job. Safety and health are two primary issues facing today's workers. Safety in the sense of physical hazards that could harm you, such as broken bones, crushed fingers, slips and falls, and so on. Health hazards are those hazards that could affect your health, such as chemical exposures, radiation, gases, vapors, fumes, and mists. Both safety and health require each individual to be aware of these potential exposures and to reduce the effects of these hazards by working and acting in a safe manner, obeying your company's safety rules, and when in doubt about the safety and health of your workplace, to report it to your supervisor. This program is designed to make you more aware of the safety and health exposures and what your responsibilities are in your company's safety and health efforts. We'll only touch the surface and list some of the basics, but it's really up to you to know the safety and health rules for your job and to put those rules into action on every job, every day. Housekeeping. The most basic of all safety and health rules begins with housekeeping, keeping your work area neat, clean, and organized. When you see something on the floor, pick it up, even if it's not in your department, because safety is a team effort. Not only your safety, but the safety of all employees. Wiping up spills and leaks when they occur, emptying trash cans when they're full, disposing of oily rags in proper containers. Housekeeping is perhaps the most important basic safety rule there is, but it takes effort on your part every day. Machinery. Machines and equipment keep your company on the move. Even office machines require special attention, proper maintenance, lubrication, inspection before using. Machine guards are placed on machines with dangerous moving parts. Never operate a machine that has a guard removed. Guards are a part of the machine that's designed to protect the machine operator and anyone near the machine. Make sure all machine guards are in place when operating any type of machine. The most important safety rule to remember is never operate any type of machine unless you have first been trained and authorized by the company. Even if you're experienced on a particular piece of equipment, such as a forklift, wait until you've been trained and authorized before you operate any equipment. When you see a tag and lock such as this means that someone is working on the machine, and it is not to be started until the lock and tag is removed. Only the person installing the lock and tag can remove them. It's a good safety rule called control of hazardous energy source, or lockout tagout. It may require electricity to be locked out. It may even require other energy sources to be safely secured. If you see a lock or a tag on a machine, stay away and wait until the lock and tag have been removed. Before starting any machine, be sure no one is near the machine that could cause injury to that person. We'll talk about personal protection in a minute, but when you're operating moving machinery, don't wear gloves. Gloves can get caught in the moving parts and pull your hand into the moving parts, causing a more serious injury. Of course, when there's the chance of flying debris, chips, or chemicals, be sure to wear proper eye and face protection. If you have long hair, keep it tied back or under a hat. Getting long hair caught in the moving parts of a machine can create serious injuries, just as loose-fitting clothing can pull your body into the moving parts. Rings and jewelry are also problems when working around machines. Leave your rings and jewelry at home when working on machinery. Personal protection. Your organization will supply you with proper personal protection when your job requires it. Your responsibility is to wear it when it's provided. Safety glasses, face shields, goggles, gloves, respiratory equipment, hearing protection, and many other personal protection equipment is available for each specific job. Learn how to use it and wear it where required. No matter what job you have, good leather-topped shoes afford some protection from minor abrasions, cuts, and chemical spills. Tennis shoes may be more comfortable, but they don't afford much protection, so follow your organization's policies and procedures when it comes to personal protection. Fire protection. Fire protection is everyone's job. Good housekeeping and proper storage of materials goes a long way preventing fires, but there's more. Learn where the exits are located. Fire extinguishers sort of blend in after a while because they're not used on a daily basis. You should know where they're located and how to use them in an emergency. If you're not sure, ask your supervisor for information. Many companies have sprinklers installed to extinguish fires, but you can help by not stacking any material within 18 to 36 inches below sprinkler heads. If you block the sprinkler head, it can't do its job when an emergency arises. Electrical safety. So much of today's equipment runs on electricity. Some of the basics of electrical safety include not using electricity in damp or wet locations. Even using power tools with sweaty hands can cause an electrical shock. Inspect your equipment before using it. Check for cracked, frayed, or cut cords. Damaged plugs can lead to an electrical shock. If you notice a third prong broken or missing from a three-prong plug, don't use the equipment until it's repaired. This third prong is a ground which protects you from electrical shock in case of a malfunction of the electrical equipment. Some portable power tools are double insulated, which will appear on the manufacturer's label. This means the inside part of the equipment is insulated, so you'll have some protection in the event of a short or malfunction. With double insulated power tools, there is no need for a three-prong grounded plug. Double insulated tools will use only two-prong plugs, but it's your responsibility to make sure the equipment tag states it's double insulated, or you'll need the three-prong ground on the plug. Material handling. In every job, there's a need to handle material and equipment. Watch your fingers and hands when moving anything. One of the most common injuries is crushing your fingers and hands between the object you're carrying and a door, wall, or on the ground. If you're handling rough or sharp parts, wear gloves. Lifting safely is equally important. Know how to lift safely. If the object is too heavy or an odd size, get help. The most important part of safe lifting is to understand how your back works so you can make the proper lifting decision no matter how difficult the load is or where it's located. Your back is a complex mixture of vertebrae, discs, ligaments, and nerves. Your vertebrae or bones are separated by discs, which act as shock absorbers. The ligaments are muscle-like fibers that provide support for the vertebrae, and the nerves send messages from the brain to the back. When you bend over like this, your discs are pinched on one side, creating a tremendous amount of pressure on one side of the discs. After a long period of abuse, the discs can wear out and leak, causing your vertebrae to push closer together, and quite possibly pinching your nerves. If you keep your back in its natural position when lifting anything, your discs are positioned properly and won't be abused. Let's take a look at a person lifting safely. Bend over the object you're going to lift. Get a good palm grip so the object won't slip off, and pull the object close to your body. Now, stand up. You'll notice that the back was in its natural curve when the person was picking up the object. Ligaments weren't stretched and the back wasn't abused. The first reaction is always, "That's nice, but my job isn't always that easy. I have to lift odd-size loads, and I can't always bend my legs to pick something up." That's exactly right. There are thousands of lifting situations where you aren't always lifting a box. That's the time to stop and think about your discs and your responsibility to make a safe lifting decision regardless of the situation. If you'll keep your back in its natural curvature, with the discs evenly spread over the bones, you won't have a back injury. Use your free hand to help support your back. Use your legs as support when you can. Get help when it's needed. Don't stretch when you're lifting. Don't lift and twist. All common sense items. The most important part of lifting safely is you. Think about the lift. Then use your good judgment and protect your back, nerves, ligaments, and those very delicate discs. Chemical safety. Everyone uses chemicals in the home, on the job, just about everywhere. Always read and follow the instructions printed on the label of all chemicals. If you're not sure what's in an unmarked container, notify your supervisor. Label all containers with the contents. Don't mix chemicals unless you've been trained and authorized to do so. All chemicals in the workplace have a Material Safety Data Sheet, or MSDS. This data sheet provides you with a lot of technical information that may not be listed on the chemical label. If you want or need more information about a particular chemical, notify your supervisor. In those areas where chemicals are used, eye wash stations are provided where necessary. Be sure you know where these stations are located and how to use them in emergencies. Wear proper protection when working with chemicals. There's no reason to take chances with chemicals and hazardous materials. Enforcing the rules. The vast majority of injuries in the workplace are caused by the unsafe acts of employees. Taking shortcuts, not following proper procedures, negligence, or just failing to do something. It's not that employees intentionally try to cause injuries, it just happens. All accidents are caused by something or someone or a combination of both. If you pay attention to the job, your surroundings, and don't take chances and follow the rules, you won't experience an injury. That's your responsibility. If you do cause property damage or an injury, the company has a responsibility to explain what you did wrong and how to correct the deficiency. That's called training. It's not disciplinary action, but if you continue to cause injuries or property damage, disciplinary action may result. Many employees see this training or counseling as being written up. It's simply the only way a person will know what went wrong and how to correct the behavior that caused the situation. A good safety and health program is designed for all employees, and if a person works or acts in an unsafe manner, it's bad for the whole team. Working and acting safely is a job requirement, and it's your responsibility. If you are involved in property damage or an injury, report it to your supervisor immediately. Proper first aid or medical attention, if needed, will be provided. A small scratch left untreated can turn into a much larger problem, so report all injuries to your supervisor when they occur, even if you don't think medical treatment is required. There are probably hundreds of safety tips we left out, but the more aware you are of safety and health, the safer and healthier you'll be. It's a team effort and requires your cooperation and assistance. Take time for safety. Safety matters, and you certainly matter. Thank you.